Hey everyone, welcome to the first video of my channel, SimoStitches. In this video, I will be going over 7 basic stitches in crocheting. If you are a beginner and are just starting to learn to crochet, I highly recommend watching this video and learning all the stitches I provide in it, because it's really important to know these stitches when crocheting. Now without further ado, let's get right into the video. So these are the basic stitches I'm going to provide in this video. If you are a beginner, as I mentioned before, again, these stitches are really simple and I'll briefly explain how to do all of them. Now, let's go into our first stitch, a single crochet. So the first stitch we're going to be doing is called a single crochet. This is a really simple stitch and you need to know it in crocheting. So here's what you want to do. You go into the stitch that's next, which is this little V-shaped thing right here. That's the stitch. You go into it, you grab your yarn and pull it through that stitch. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. So now what you want to do is you want to grab your yarn and pull it through those 2 loops. And that is a single crochet. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Go into that next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then grab the yarn, pull through those 2 loops. And that is how you do a single crochet. Now we're going to move on to our next stitch and increase. So the stitch we're going to be doing now is called an increase. This is basically where you add 2 single crochets in one stitch. So this is how it goes. You want to do the same thing as before. You want to put your hook through the next stitch, take your yarn, pull it through, then take your yarn, pull through those 2 loops. And then you want to do the same thing but in the same stitch. So right over here in that same stitch, put your hook through, take the yarn and pull it through, and then take the yarn, pull it through those 2 loops. And that is how you do an increase. The third stitch we are going to be doing is called a double crochet. This is kind of a more different stitch than the other 2 I showed you because this stitch has a few added steps. Here's how it goes. For a double crochet, you want to wrap your yarn around your hook and then go into that next stitch. And then you want to take your yarn, pull through that stitch, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. So what you want to do now is you want to take your yarn, pull through those first 2 loops only, and then you want to take your yarn and then pull through those last 2 loops. Just like that. And that is a double crochet. The fourth stitch we are going to be doing now is called a half double crochet. This is kind of like a double crochet, but the last step is kind of different. Here's how to do it. So again, you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook and go into that next stitch. And then grab your yarn and pull it through that stitch. Now here, instead of pulling your yarn through the first 2 loops, we're actually going to take our yarn and pull through all 3 of those loops. And that's a half double crochet. The fifth stitch we are going to be doing now is called a decrease. This is also different from all the other stitches, but still really simple. Here's how it works. You go into the next stitch, grab your yarn and pull it through, and then you want to go in the stitch after that, take your yarn and pull it through. Now you want to grab your yarn and pull through the first 2 loops, and then grab your yarn and then pull through those last 2 loops, like that. And that is how you do a decrease. So this next stitch we are going to be doing is called an invisible decrease. This decrease stitch is what a lot of crocheters use because it makes their projects look more invisible. So here's how you do it. So if you look at the next stitch, you can see that it has a front loop and a back loop. For this stitch, we are going to be going through only the front loop of the next stitch and the front loop of the stitch after that, just like that. And then we're going to take our yarn, pull through those first 2 loops, and then take our yarn and pull through those last 2 loops. And that is how you do an invisible decrease. Now, the last stitch we are going to be doing is called a slip stitch. This is probably the simplest stitch in crocheting. So what you want to do is you want to go through that next stitch, take your yarn and pull it through. Now you actually just want to take your hook and pull it through that last loop. And that wraps up our slip stitch as well as all of our basic stitches. And that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this first video of SimoStitches. Please be sure to hit that like button, turn on the notifications, and be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you soon.